Coach Spurrier and his retirement. I had a chance to talk with him this morning, and I really appreciated the opportunity to visit with him. And ironic, the birth of my head coaching career is the day that he's going to retire. So I guess we're kind of forever linked together in that regard. But I'll just say this about Coach Spurrier: he's great for college football, and I have a ton of respect for him and what he's done for the game of college football. Coach Spurrier and I know people focus on where we are right now, but listen, I've been competing against Coach Spurrier all the way back to 1989. As a player, I remember vividly when he came to Florida because he was different, and he brought a different philosophy to the game, and he changed a lot of things in college football. Competed against all those years at Florida. I was at Alabama. We had several SEC championships together. I actually sacked his punter in the first SEC championship game, and I think he threw his visor. And then went on as a coach at Alabama and competing against him and recruiting against Florida, and Coach Spurrier as the head coach, and then obviously coming here to Clemson, and I've competed against him ever since he's been at South Carolina. So. One thing I say about Coach Spurrier is he's been consistent his whole career as far as who he is. He's always just been himself, and he's a winner. I mean, you look at what he did at Duke, and bringing an ACC championship to Duke at that time in Duke's history, and then at South Carolina. South Carolina's been around a long, long time, and he took that program to a level they've never seen before. And, so you got to give him a lot of credit for that. And then certainly what he did at Florida in the SEC championships, the national championship, the players that they had down there and developed, just one of the best to ever, walk the sideline. So, I know Coach Spurrier and I have always, every now and then he might say something crazy and then I'll go back, but we really have a mutual respect for one another. And usually once or twice a year we have functions that we get together. Most of the time we would eat together and sit down and have dinner together. And, his wife, Jerry, just think the world of her, and wish them nothing but the best as they move into retirement. But I would bet it won't be our last time to hear from Coach Spurrier. And he'll still, I'm sure, be very relevant in the world of college football for many years to come. Any questions?
This last few days has seemed to reveal something about what your profession is facing when you've got Coach Etzel being fired at Maryland mid-season, Coach Sarkisian dealing with an alcohol problem, which I wonder why not more coaches have this. You were taken to a level of emotion Saturday night publicly that I've never seen you, and now you have Coach Spurrier, who obviously, what's going on in college football with coaches? Is the pressure that strong? I didn't have a level of emotion to pressure. I just had a level of emotion for a stupid question. And I really was not prepared for that. There's a few more things I would have liked to have said if I'd have been really prepared for that. But, I had nothing to do. I was happy. I'm happy. We just won a huge game and played great. I just was, frustrated. But, I think that there's pressure in anything. I don't look at it that way. I just, everybody has to. The game of football, the business of college football, from a coaching standpoint, it's changed, and I think there's more pressure on, the ADs or whatever, and it's a shame to see what's going on, because it's hard. It's hard to win. I tell that people it's really hard to win a game, much less consistently year in and year out to be able to sustain that. It's very difficult, and so, but I don't see it as pressure. I mean, me personally. I mean, I'm paid a lot of money to do a job that I love to do. I mean, I love what I do, and I understand the business of it. I understand that it's a game of performance. I've never really focused on that, that aspect of it. I just, I lean on my faith, and that's just what I try to stay grounded in that. And so I don't get too high or get too low, and whether we've had a good game or bad game, I just give it all to the good Lord, to be honest with you. And when it's time for me to move on, I know He's got something else in store for me. That's just how I deal with things. And I can't speak for other people and all that type of stuff. But as far as the world of college football, it's certainly more and more of an issue now, where you're seeing coaches fired after 2 games. The same thing in pro football, and that's just the world we're in. And I think if you look, like I said, the amount of money and things like that, it puts more pressure on everybody. But I don't live my life that way. I really don't. My pressure is on being a good husband, good father, keeping balance in my life, and not getting, sucked up into the world. That's the pressure for me.
Did you sense in your conversation a relief? I mean, what was the nature of?
Oh, I'm not going to get into our conversation with Coach Spurrier. I mean, he'll have a chance to address the media today at whenever their time is. But we had a great conversation, and again, he'll say what he wants to say, and but it was just friendly conversation, just 2 guys with good respect for each other, just talking about the day.
Firsthand. You initiated the call?
Yeah, I called him this morning, and he called me back.